Hi there. Welcome to the third part of my data science roadmap video series, guys. So far in this series, I have shared two videos in which I have covered 6 steps out of total 12 steps of my data science roadmap. Now, in these 6 steps, I have shared all the skill sets and tools and technologies you need to become data analyst or business analyst. But definitely for data scientists, you need more skill sets and the tools which I'll be covering in this particular video and in another video, guys. So there will be 4 parts in this particular series, guys. Right? And at the end, I'll be sharing one video in which I'll be summarizing all these 12 steps of my data science roadmap. And this is very exhaustive data science roadmap, guys, which you will find on YouTube or any other article or blog, guys. Why I'm saying that? Because a lot of people do not talk about the projects and the resume preparation, at what time they should start preparing that. But in this particular roadmap, from individual steps covering all the skill sets as well as technologies, I'll explain when you can start preparing for your resume, where you can start working on the projects, how you can prepare for the interviews. All these tips and tricks I am sharing in this particular roadmap. So stay tuned with me till the end of this video. It's going to be very important for all the data science or and as per like any analytical professional you want to become, right? So now, if you remember, guys, I have already shared 6 steps out of these 12, right? So now let's refresh those first, and then we'll move to the next 3. So if you remember, the first step in our data science roadmap video was programming language. And definitely, if you are a beginner, then I mentioned that you can pick, without having any doubt, you can pick Python as your programming language, right? The second step was about a tool which is actually a bread and butter for all the analytics professional, which we use extensively in the industry, guys. That is Microsoft Excel. The third step, which was further divided into 3 sub-steps. The first sub-step was about data collection. In data collection, we talked about one of the tool which is required to deal with the RDBMSs, right? That is SQL programming language. So you need to have knowledge of SQL so that you can interact with the RDBMS, where most of the companies have their data, right? So data collection, most of the time you have to collect from the RDBMSs, and then you can start working on that particular data. So definitely SQL is very important for all the data analytics professionals, right? So now the second sub step in the third step was about data cleaning, guys, which involved a lot of steps like missing value treatment, outlier treatment, noise if any present is there, you have to treat that. Lot of steps. Then the third sub steps was about data manipulation or data wrangling, which involves a lot of manipulation steps, operations with the data, like grouping the data or merging the data, performing aggregation on top of the data. Then data feature engineering, basically deriving new variables, right? So these were the 3 steps which we talked about in the third step of our data science roadmap. Now the fourth step in the last video which I shared is about data visualization. Definitely, guys, the way our human brain works is all about images, right? So you have to create, if you want to get insight out of the data, you have to create visualizations, because our brain cannot get any insight out of 10,000 rows present in the Excel form, right? So that is why there are a lot of data visualization technique which you can use as per the requirement, and that's what was covered in the fourth step of our data science roadmap. In that side, on the same side, for data visualization to create dashboards, there are a lot of tools available in the market, guys, like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense. Lot of tools are out there. So out of those, the major player I mentioned in the data science roadmap, guys, that is Tableau. You can definitely start with. There is a licensed version as well as trial version. So if you want to learn it, you can take 15 days trial version and you can start learning about the Tableau. Now, the fifth step was about the statistics and probability, guys. Statistics, there is already one video which I have already shared, right? So now you can just go through that particular video. It will tell you all the topics you need to cover, as well as it will give you a glimpse how statistics is used in the market, right? So that's very important video. You can just, the link I'll share over here as well as in the description box. You can check that out. The sixth step, which is the most important for any data analyst or business analyst profession, guys. As I mentioned, the last skill for data analyst or business analyst, that is machine learning. And we spend good amount of time on machine learning. What type of machine learning problems are there? Then what kind of further split, like supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Supervised was further divided into two types, classification and regression. Then there are a lot of different algorithms which can be used for classification problem as well as regression problem. Then under unsupervised part, we had clustering problems, we had dimensionality reduction problems, we had about market basket analysis, lot of different type of problems which comes under unsupervised. And then we had different algorithms for reinforcement learning. So all these topics we already discussed in our previous two videos, guys. So one thing I would suggest, if you have not watched those two videos, guys, please go and watch them first so that you can follow these next steps which I am going to share in this particular video, guys. Okay, so the link you will get in the I button as well as in the description. You can just check those first if you have not watched. Okay, so now let's move to the next step, guys. That is our seventh step in data science roadmap, guys. And as I said, the roadmap which I have created is very exhaustive. I am going to explain you when you have to start working on different projects as well as when you can start preparing your resume. So the seventh step which we have is about all projects and projects. Okay, so now in the seventh step you will be working on different projects related to the Python, related to the Microsoft Excel, related to the Tableau, related to the third step of data collection, data feature engineering, and then data cleaning. So spend as much time as you can on practicing the tools and techniques we have discussed so far, guys. Okay, so now in this particular part, guys, I'm not going to share you the data set like other shares on YouTube. You can start working on any of the project. That depends on your background. If you are coming from the finance background, then definitely you can pick some finance projects, right? If you are coming from the healthcare background, you can pick anyone from the healthcare related data. Or if you are coming from any other background, it depends on you guys, right? So I'm not going to share on what data you can start, like a lot of people share about Titanic data sets you can start with. Definitely, guys, if you are very beginner and it doesn't matter to you, you are just doing the project for your learning purpose, you can start with the Titanic, guys. But that can't be used as a project in your resume. Okay, so Titanic project, you can't add it in your resume. It won't give any weightage to your resume. Okay, so definitely for learning purpose, Titanic is very good to start with. But definitely for resume purpose, you have to work on different problems which are more relevant to the industry. Okay, so now rather than giving you the project's name, what I'll do in this video, guys, I'll share two platforms from where you can get any type of data science project. So the first platform we have, that is Kaggle, guys. So now if you go to kaggle.com, the UI will look like this. If you want to participate in any competition, guys, you have to sign in, and you can use your Gmail account to sign in into this platform, guys. Now there are a lot of tabs, guys. I'll not explore all of these tabs in this particular video. I'll create a separate video in which I'll show you how one can participate in the competition, how one can submit their solution, and how they can check their performance as well for related to that competition. So now in this, I'll just show you how you can check out the competitions, guys. Directly just go to this competition tab. You will find out all the competitions which are ongoing or completed in the past. You will find out all of them. Now there is a purpose assigned to every project, like Titanic, this is for the knowledge purpose. Now there are competitions which are having prize money like this. Now another thing is about whether it is like how much time is basically pending in completing that particular competition. So that you can check out over here. 25 days to go, a month to go, like that, right? Now once you pick any of the project, so let's say we are picking this high house prices advanced regression techniques. So here in this particular project, we will be predicting the house prices based on the independent variables which are related to the houses. Then again, as you know, so this is a regression problem, guys, because house prices is a continuous variable which we are predicting. So it's a regression problem. You can use linear regression or variation of linear regressions like lasso, ridge, or you can use machine learning algorithms like decision tree, XGBoost, a lot of random forest. All of these algorithms you can use for this house price prediction, guys. Now in the UI overview, you can check out these are the tabs which will be available for all the competitions. Overview, where you will find the information about the competition, what kind of task you have to perform, how they are going to evaluate the submissions, and other frequently asked questions will be there. Then there will be a data tab where you will find the data and you can download that. To download it, you have to join the competition, and to join the competition, guys, you have to sign into the platform. Okay, so but in the data tab you will find the CSV file or whatever data set file they have uploaded. Now the code part, this is the most important for all the beginners, guys. Other data scientists who are submitting their solutions, they have you can check their solutions over here, guys. So now the important part, you should check out all the submissions which are having this bronze or silver kind of tag. These are the most performing notebooks, well performing notebooks. Okay, so now if I click on this, yeah, so you can check it out. It's well documented approach for this particular competition. So importing libraries, these are the libraries used by that particular data scientist, how he performed the pre-processing and visualization. So just check it out, right? Beautifully documented this notebook, guys. At the end, after visualization and everything, so there will be modeling part which will would have been done. So here you can check out missing value treatment is being happening. So all these things basically you can check it out how other data scientists, how they are actually solving these kind of problems. Okay, so this is very interesting. A part of this code, there will be a discussion forum where you can create your own question and you can ask your own question, as well as you can participate in the conversation of other questions as well, right? Leaderboard where you can check your rank, where you stand out of all the all the data scientists who are participating in these competitions. So you can check it out. There are 4013 teams which have participated in these competitions, who have joined this competition, right? So you can also join the league, guys. Now the rules, this is how basically every competition will have the UI. So now you are pretty clear where to check the competitions, how you can get the data, how you can submit your code. That submission part will come once you join the competition, guys. Okay, then the discussion as well, where you can ask the questions and you can check your rank as well in the leaderboard. Okay, now this was the first platform I wanted to talk, that is Kaggle, guys. The second platform I wanted to talk is the Analytics Vidya. This is again a competition based platform, but this is more popular in India, guys. This is my opinion based on my experience. Okay, so Analytics Vidya, again, it's very important platform, guys, where you can find out lot of articles related to the data science, as well as you will find courses. I'm not promoting the courses over here, guys, but my point is you can use this particular platform to participate in the competitions and learn all the nitty-gritties of data science. Now out of this, again, you have to log in to participate in the competition, guys. You can use your Gmail account. Now we just want to explore the competitions, so I'm just clicking on the hackathon. So on this particular page you will find all the competitions. So their purpose, knowledge and learning. So you will find like this HR analytics. This is very interesting one, kind of relevant to the industry, which you can write in your resume, guys. Food demand forecasting, all type of different type of modeling you have to perform, where you will be using time series models like Arima, Sharima and all, right? So that will be part of this. Similarly, like face counting challenge, this is a deep learning based project, guys. So all different type of projects will be here and you can pick any of them, right? There are a part of these 8, there are a lot of other projects as well. If you click on this, you will be able to check them out, right? So this is another platform which you can use, guys. Okay, so I hope these two platforms are clear. Explore them as much as you can. Now let's move to the next step in our data science roadmap, guys. So once we have created the portfolio of our projects, guys, now we can move to the next step in our data science roadmap, and that is creating the resume and preparing for the interviews, guys. In others roadmap, you will find this as the last step, but in my roadmap, guys, I always prefer to keep it in between. There is a reason behind it. So in interview, guys, 50% is your technical skill which matters. A part of that 50%, guys, there are other skills which are required. Now, in those 50%, it will be your soft skill, your body language, your domain knowledge, how you present yourself, how you tell the stories, how you communicate. All these skills need to be acquired, guys. And then you will be able to crack the interviews. Right? Now, the important part is, guys, all these skill set, tools, and technologies we are covering that will be helpful only 50% part of your interviews. Now, by the end of this 12 steps data science roadmap, you will be well versed with other skill set also, which are required to crack any interview. That is the reason why I always prefer to have it after machine learning skills. Why? Because now you are ready to become business analyst or data analyst. So any opportunity you find out there, you can post your resume, you can actually approach to that opportunity. As I mentioned, there are two steps involved, guys. The first one is resume creation, and the second step is preparing for the interviews. Now, I will share three important tips and tricks to actually get shortlisted of in any of the opportunity or to crack the interviews. Now, for creating the resume, guys, the first important point you have to be careful about is your template, guys. Always remember, your resume is the first impression to the interview. And based on the stats, within 30 seconds of glance, your interviewer should be able to get all the important points or the skill sets you want to highlight or you want to convey to the interview. Right? So now in templates, there should be a clear section for your professional summary, for your work experience, different projects you have undertaken, and your educational background. And there should be a separate section for the skill sets you have acquired, guys. Now you can check out this kind of format or template which can be very helpful, and this is something which I always like, guys. Okay, now the second important point you have to be careful about is the length of your resume, guys. If you are a beginner or you are a fresher or you have one or two companies of experience, try to have your resume as one pager, guys. Okay, if you have more than two or three companies of experience, then maybe you can have two pager. Otherwise, try to keep it within one page, guys. Okay, very important point. A lot of people neglect that. Don't do that. Now, the third point, as we are data analytics professional, guys, we are data professionals. So add numbers as much as you can in your resume, guys. Now, how can you add the numbers? Let's say you have built any particular model, then you can mention the evaluation metric, whether it is accuracy, whether it is RMSE, whether it is MAP, any metric you have used to evaluate the model, that number you can mention in the project, guys. A part of that, if it was a business relevant or there was some impact on the business, mention that. Based on the model, you were able to reduce the cost by 20% or 1% or 2%, or you were able to create the conversions because of your modeling part, that you can mention. So add number as much as you can. So these are the very three important points you should be very careful when you are creating your resume. Now let's talk about while you are preparing for the interviews, guys. First one is about creating the social presence, guys. So you can create your account on platforms like LinkedIn or GitHub, where you can showcase your projects which you have done in the past. I explored LinkedIn to get the freelancing work in my earlier stage. You can also explore the LinkedIn from the same perspective, right? So the second tip is about doing the research related to the company before you enter into the interview room. So you should be clear about what kind of problems company is solving, in which particular domain it is solving the problem, and how the company is performing, as well as what kind of skill set they are looking for and how you can contribute to that particular company, guys. Right? So these all research will help you to build the confidence, and that will get reflect in the interview room. The third tip is basically for strengthening the resume, guys. Lot of time, if let's say you are a beginner and you do not have opportunity, when you are posting your resume out there, you are not getting shortlisted. In that case, rather than having like job part, you can explore the internship opportunities as well. You can apply for Internshala platform, or there are other platforms to get the internship. As well as if you are looking for some kind of freelancing work, there are platforms like Freelancer, Upwork, TopTel. A part of that, there are a lot of other platforms you can actually try out. Now let's move to the ninth step of our data science roadmap, which will add another skill and tool in our bucket, guys. And that is deep learning. As we know, deep learning is a subset of machine learning, guys. Now let's try to understand what is the origin of deep learning. Now let's try to understand this deep learning evolution from this particular picture, guys. So here it is clear that ML, machine learning, is a subset of AI, right? Now in machine learning, there are a lot of algorithms. One of them is artificial neural network, which is actually inspired from our brain, the way our nervous system works. Now all the algorithms we have in deep learning are evolved from this artificial neural network model. So now if you want to learn deep learning, you have to start learning about artificial neural network. So learn the nitty-gritty of artificial neural network, then move to the different algorithms we have in deep learning. Now, if you want to understand the plethora of algorithms which are available in deep learning, you have to understand the applications of those algorithms, right? So now all broader side, all the applications under deep learning, we have classified them into three types or three categories. First one is about computer vision, where we mostly talk about the data like images or videos. Now, under computer vision, we have problems like image classification, where we are identifying who is present in the image. And the second type of problem is object detection, where we are identifying who is present as well as where it is present, right? This kind of algorithms are very helpful for like applications in autonomous cars, like Tesla cars, right? So the camera there, they are powered from computer vision algorithms like CNN, convolutional neural network, or YOLO, which is used for object detection, right? The second type of applications we have is on the data like text data, guys, right? So where we are dealing with the natural languages like English, Hindi, or any regional language. So here we will be working on different type of algorithms like RNN, LSTM, GPTs, transformers, autoencoders. These kind of models will be using under this NLP. Now, if you combine the applications of CNN and RNN, there are multiple applications we have built, like the systems or models which can generate images from text, which can generate videos from text, right? So these are the models which are in demand these days. You would have heard about Chat GPT as well, right? So Chat GPT, if you pass the like you ask, it will generate the text for you, and that text is not available anywhere on the internet, right? So it's basically kind of generative model which is based on the transformer models we have available in deep learning. Similarly, the third type is the speech and audio, where we are dealing with the audio files, right? So audio files have a different set of nitty-gritties. There we use actually applications of CNN or the model CNN as well as RN. So from the audio we create the spectrogram, and on those spectrogram we use CNN models, and finally to convert it into text we use RNN models, right? So basically in speech and audio we use both computer vision algorithms as well as NLP algorithms like RNN or LSTM. So these are the different type of applications we have under deep learning, right? So now if you want to learn about this deep learning, there is a specialization on Coursera, again given by Andrew Ng, who is the co-founder of Coursera. Like I already mentioned the machine learning specialization on Coursera, right, in the last video. So here you, for deep learning, you can check out that particular specialization on Coursera website. So these were the 3 steps which I planned for this particular video, guys. So far we have covered 9 steps out of my total 12 steps data science roadmap. In the next video, which will be the final part of this series, guys, I'll talk about 3 next, again very important steps to become data scientist, which involves big data, cloud services, and version control systems like GitHub or Bitbucket, right? So now thanks for watching till the end, and please subscribe the channel, like the video, and share with your friends, guys. Thank you.